Hello, my name is Paulo and welcome to my channel. Today I want to give an update on my Linux from scratch project. So I was hoping to have this update out yesterday, just I was busy with working on that and another job and I just couldn't get to making the video yesterday. So the place I find myself now is I'm reading the Linux from scratch documentation and it's really good. The handbook, I suppose I call it. Then, while reading that, it turned out, unsurprisingly, I guess, that they provided a lot of justifications for the Linux from scratch and what they're doing and why. And those justifications end up leading you down the rabbit hole of a lot of other documentation if you choose to follow that logic. And I did. So I was reading yesterday about POSIX, about the file system hierarchy standard, which is that standard /mount/boot/etc, all those folders, what's supposed to go in them, where it goes in them, and why. Also, a more controversial document called the Linux Standard Base Specification. In that one, probably all of that one has a lot more, I guess, opinion than the other ones, probably from different personalities. That being said, the Linux from scratch guys, it's what they use as their guide stone for the Linux from scratch project, and so I was reading that specification and their documentation and that specification, we're just going to follow through with that. If this Linux from scratch goes really well and we don't really run into any problems along the way and it goes pretty smooth, maybe I'll look at installing on LFS in the future, or maybe changing some things. But for this, at least for this very first time I install Linux from scratch, I'm just going to follow the doc. I made that decision where I'm not going to deviate and try and do my own thing, because it might be enough of a headache without trying to modify the procedure. So now I did do all that stuff, and that's great. There was some legwork I was able to do in the meantime, and that's mostly just prepping the hard drive. So let's take a look real quick, and we're going to show you here. So this is my NVMe drive. This is my main hard drive. You can see here it's got the boot EFI and LFS with a couple of partitions in it. All I did was I simply took the last 100 gigs of that drive and removed it. So I would like to have done that on screen. However, you can't really do that with a mounted disk, or at least you're advised not to. I don't know if gparted would have let me if I had tried, but I didn't really want to bork my system, so I have a live USB here with Garuda Qtile edition on it, so I just booted into that and did that reorg there. Now, this is the same drive that Fedora is on, and it shouldn't create any problems for us. It might, I don't know, maybe. Just in case, I did modify this. I have a 1 terabyte drive I call Media. It's where I install games, and you can see there's hardly anything on it right now. So I had no problem yanking the first 100 gigs of that drive, and it's there unallocated. And again, I did use gparted to do that. I'm sure I could have looked up how to do some of this stuff through LFS CLI tools, but it was just easy through gparted. When we get to the Linux from scratch install, we will be using fdisk to do the actual partitioning. I left those pieces of hard drive unpartitioned on purpose. So that's where we're at. My plan now, hopefully over the weekend, it's a Friday today, so hopefully this weekend I will be able to sit down and have maybe a 2 or 3 hour block where I can just record myself installing the Linux from scratch. And I plan on recording the whole thing I will be able to, that way I'll be able to talk and address what I'm doing along the way. And then later in post production, I'll be able to edit the video and make it, watchable, as opposed to 2 or 3 hours of me swearing at my computer, which might be fun too. But that is the plan currently for now. So I'm going to wrap this video up, and hopefully Monday I'll have that video out. Thank you so much for watching. And if you could, leave a comment in the video below. Thank you. Have a good day.